This is lesson 2.6b, multiplying and dividing positive and negative decimals. 2.6b, multiplying and dividing positive and negative decimals. All right, here's how we work multiplying decimals. First, it's always good to have an estimate. So negative 2.7 is about negative 3 times 3.1 is about 3. And negative 3 times positive 3 would give us negative 9. So we know our answer should be somewhere around negative 9. Now from here, we want to set it up like this. We want to write the problem vertically. So 27 times 31. Now, I left the decimals out on purpose. We'll take care of the decimals at the very end. Unlike adding and subtracting decimals, you do not have to keep that decimal lined up. You don't even have to worry about the decimal at all right now. So just pretend you're multiplying 27 times 31. So 1 times 7 is 7. 1 times 2 is 2. Bring down your 0. 3 times 7 is 21. Carry the 2. 3 times 2 is 6, plus the 2 is 8. So you get these two numbers, which we add together. And we get 7, 3, and 8. So we get 837. Now, obviously, we know that our answer is not 837 because our estimate said our answer should be somewhere around negative 9. And again, I've ignored the negative signs for right now as well. So here's how you figure out where to put the decimal. If we go back to our original problem of 2.7 times the 3.1, negative 2.7 times the 3.1, we notice that after the decimal, we have one number. And after that decimal, we have one number. So we have a total of two numbers after the decimal. So you start at the very end, and you move your decimal 2 places to the left, and you would get 8.37. We would say that we have one negative. One of our numbers is negative, and as you remember, anytime you're multiplying numbers and one of them is negative, that's an odd number. So your answer is going to be negative 8.37. If you forget, how to move your decimal over, how many places, how that all works, again, your estimate comes in handy. We estimated that this answer was about negative 9. Well, the only place our decimal would be about 9 would be in between the 8 and the 3. If we put it before the 8, that's not close to 9. If we put it after the 3, 83.7, not close to 9. And if we had it at the very end, 837, that is not close to the 9. So using the estimate will help you figure out as well where to put your decimal. That's all you got to do. Ignore your decimals, multiply it out, and then go back and put your decimals in afterwards. So if we look at number 10. So you go ahead, give number 10 a shot here, and see if you can get the answer. Once you have the answer and all your work, then hit play and see if you got number 10 right. Okay, on number 10, again, start off with an estimate. 3.04 is about 3 times negative 6.3 is about negative 6. And 3 times negative 6 would be negative 18. So we know our answer should be about negative 18. So again, ignore your decimals. 3.04 is now 304. 6.3 is now 63. And again, ignore your negative signs for right now too. Multiply this out. 3 times 4 is 12. Carry the 1. 3 times 0 is 0, plus the 1 is 1. 3 times 3 is 9. Bring down a 0. 6 times 4 is 24. Carry the 2 this time. 6 times 0 is 0, plus the 2 is 2. 6 times 3 is 18. And add these numbers together. You get 2, 5, 11, carry the 1, 9, and 1. So the number we get is 19152. So again, think about it. Our estimate was that we should get about negative 18. So where is the only place that would make any sense that that number would be about 18? Well, the only place it would make any sense is if we put it in between the 9 and the 1. That would give us 19.152, which is the only place that would be close to 18. And then again, we have we're multiplying these two negatives. One of them, those two numbers, one of them is negative, one of them is positive. One is an odd number, so our answer has to be negative 19.52. Now again, as far as where to put your decimal, when you were all finished, you got 19152. If you go back to your original numbers, you have two numbers to the right of your decimal here, two numbers to the right of your decimal, and one number to the right of your decimal, for a total of three numbers to the right. So that just means you're going to start at the very end, and you move your decimal three places to the left. And there's your 19.152, and again, one negative, so negative. All right, so use the estimation skills to your advantage, and also learn how to move it by counting the numbers to the right of your decimal in the original problem. All right, moving on to dividing, number 12 here. So first part that you've got to understand is which number goes where. The second number always goes on the outside. Second number always goes on the outside. Then the first number will always go on the inside. Okay? Next, you have to make sure the outside number is a whole number. So the outside number being 3.4 does us no good. So we need to move that decimal to make it an integer, a whole number, positive or negative, by moving it one place to the right. What you did was you multiplied it by 10. And if you multiply the outside number by 10, you got to multiply the inside number by 10 as well. So we have 34 now on the outside, and 1,591. Let me clean that up real quick. 34. And again, you can ignore the negatives right here. We know we have one negative, so at the end, we need to make sure that we make our answer negative. So 1,591.2. All right. Now you go ahead and start your division. And we've worked on this in class. You can use your calculators to help you show your work. 34 won't go into 1, 34 won't go into 15, 34 will go into 159. So you type 159 divided by 34 in your calculator. And then you find out it goes in 4 whole times. So above the 9, you would put a 4 right there. Then you can use your calculator to do 4 times 34, and you would get 136. Again, you can use your calculator to subtract 159 minus 136, and you get 23. And you bring down your 1. We get 231. So now we need to do 231 divided by 34, and we find out it goes in 6 whole times. So we put the 6 above the 1 that we just brought down, and this arrow should be below the 1 there coming down. Then 6 times 34 is 204. We subtract those numbers, and we get 27. And we bring the 2 down, and we get 272. So type in 272 divided by 34, and you get 8, exactly 8 this time. In the decimal, make sure you bring your decimal straight up. 8 whole times. 8 times 34 is 272. We get the remainder of 0 we're looking for. So we get 46.8. Now we just need to double check, is it positive or negative? Again, we have one negative number. One is odd numbered, so negative 46.8. If you want to try 14 on your own, hit pause, try it, then hit play and see if you can get the answer. All right, so again, division symbol, 0.52 goes on the outside, and 12.376 goes on the inside. So again, we need that outside number to be a whole number. So this time we need to move it 2 places to the right, and that's multiplying it by 100. So the inside one moves 2 places to the right. And what we have then is we have 52 on the outside and 1,237.6 on the inside, and bring our decimal straight up. Okay, so again, in order to show all of this work, we need that outside number to be a whole number. What we're saying is 12.376 divided by 0.52 is the exact same thing as doing 1,237.6 divided by 52. You'll get the same answer, but we need it to be the whole number 52 on the outside in order to show our work here. So 52 won't go into 1, 52 won't go into 12, 52 will go into 123. That's where you use your calculators. 123 divided by 52, it will go in 2 times. So you put the 2 above the 3. 52 times 2 is 104. Do our subtracting and we get 19, and then we bring down the next number, which is the 7. Now we type in 197 divided by 52. We find out it goes in 3 whole times. Then we use our calculator and do 3 times 52, and we get 156. Do our subtraction there of 197 minus 156, and we get 41. Bring down our next number, which is the 6. We get 416. So again, use your calculators. 416 divided by 52, and we get 8, and with no decimals. So 8 times 52 is 416. And again, I've been subtracting all of those along the way, and we finally get a remainder of 0. So the answer we get is 23.8. Now we gotta look, is it positive or negative? Well, we have no negative signs. It's a positive divided by a positive, so our answer is definitely positive, 23.8. All right, your homework is to do these 4 problems. And again, just real quick, when you write this division, 4.5 should be on the outside and 36.9 on the inside. Again, you can ignore negatives. You have 1 negative in 11, so your answer should be negative. And on 13, 6.3 goes on the outside and 49.14, 14 goes on the inside. And again, don't worry about your negatives. In 13, you have 2 negative numbers. That's an even amount, so your answer should be positive. All right, see you tomorrow.